Kansas, number 9, Kelly Oubre!
In Boston, Game 6, the Celtics are looking to move on to round 2, and for Philadelphia, just trying to force that decisive Game 7. It has been a wild. Grant Hill is.
Well, his reputation precedes it here.
Grant Hill has had some moments of move on here at Xfinity Mobile Arena, and it'll be 76ers basketball to get us rolling with VJ Edgecombe. Tatum accepts the defensive assignment. Paul George pops out. He's been more aggressive. They go right to Embiid for 2.
He continues processing for the Sixers.
Well, and the spacing right there. Embiid had so much room, and with Kata, they are going to test him early and often.
Hauser, a lot of contact, and it's well short. Embiid to see high-level play after the embarrassment that was Game 4. Driving kick outside Oubre. Around it goes for Maxey. They're trying to feature Embiid early. Back outside. Embiid struggled from 3. And he joins 8.5 rebounds per game, but became an everyday starting center. And Joe Mazzulla said, you proved it in the regular season, you've got to prove it now in the postseason. Tatum looking to drive. Hauser pops. 8 to shoot. Hauser drives, and nobody picks up.
Every type of action, Grant. They're going to make him guard every time down.
The Celtics had missed 15 straight field goals dating back to Game 5, where they missed their final 14 of the game. Edge come in and out. And the open court. Spin. Fade. And the rebound tapped by Tatum.
Maybe some nerves here, a little feeling out. Some open shots that aren't going early.
Tatum right to the rack. He'll attack on White, no numbers. Embiid's the trailer. Thought about the 3. Now he'll take it right at Kata. Through the contact, and he breaks it home.
Kata has fouled as much as anybody in these playoffs. We saw the success Embiid had against Vucevic. That foul trouble with Kata.
The Boston Celtics offense that we've seen be as incredibly efficient as anybody. What does that entail on a consistent time down the floor?
Well, you're going to see Sam Hauser a lot of the time be the screener. And you worry about him as a shooter. Then he's setting the back screen.
Hauser outside. There he goes to set it, but instead it goes to Brown. Now he'll back down on Maxey. And he's just kind of patrolling the middle of the paint. Brown finds the open spot. He can't float it in.
Good high-level contest.
George tees it up. Long rebound, and a good job shielding it by Hauser.
Right away for Boston, a team that shoots a lot of threes. Everything in the paint, they are getting paint touches, not converting. Continuing with 2 for 8 from the field, struggling like they did in the 4th quarter of Game 5.
Man, Derek White's had some looks around the basket to maybe get his mojo going, but it's been that type of series, and he's still searching.
Maxey, that's a shot. Energy infectious at Xfinity Mobile Arena. The fans have brought it. The team has responded early. Brown the fend off. The fade doesn't go.
Tail off defensively. Another good defensive possession there on Jaylen Brown.
Maxey looking to get away from Tatum. Outside for Embiid. He'll try again. Down by Tatum, who started this game 1 for 2. He does have 3 rebounds already. He's been rebounding at a really high clip. That is Brown. Boston now 3 for 10 from the floor. Philly at 4 for 10, but they are 2 of 6 from downtown. Double now on Embiid, trying to get his bounce. Brown looking to attack on the rookie Edgecombe. His 3rd and Rookie of the Year voting after an outstanding season. Dump it inside, and Kata floats it in. It was also a smart play by Paul George because it was number 2 on Jaylen Brown. Pocket pass goes to Embiid. 5 to shoot now for Maxey. Looking to put pedal to the metal, spray it out. Edgecombe 3 ball, doesn't go. One of the primary ball handlers, along with Pritchard, who had an outstanding Game 4 in the last game in this building. Edgecombe couldn't get to that pass. Brown does, and an awkward delivery will draw him a contact.
They took 53 3-pointers and made 24.
Well, and the question for Boston has to be, when you have the...
They have to stay in there because of the free throws with the 2 fouls. VJ Edgecombe just picked up his 2nd. So Quentin Grimes, one of the heroes of the second half.
He is from the jump. Nick Nurse has been on him to let it fly. He clearly delivered in Game 5.
Maxey with 10 to shoot. Embiid goes to set the screen. Maxey attacks on Vucevic. Oh, he slides through for 2. George, Embiid, and Grimes, the 5 for Philly. Tatum off the screen. Separates. Oubre stayed with him. He got the strip. Maxey got there first. Look at the speed. Leave it for Grimes on the finish. Walsh drives. George cuts. 8 to shoot. Pritchard. Off the screen, puts the head down, spins on Grimes, stops on a dime, and he puts it in. He might just like playing in this building because he had 32 in the Game 4 win last time here. Under 3 to play in the first. It's Maxey from downtown. Another turnover for Boston. Maxey's got that pep in his step. Embiid's got the mismatch with Pritchard. It's going to go to work. Back him down. Outside Oubre. Open look. And
Tatum coming off naked there, knocking it down.
Tatum now up to 8 points in this opening quarter. Maxey fend off. Embiid right at Vucevic. He'll rise.
His starters for most of this game.
It's still only been 20 days since Embiid had that emergency appendectomy here in this series. All even at 20. Prime screen from Drummond. Trying to get it back to Maxey. The cut, the float, doesn't go. Couple of point-blank misses from both sides in this opening quarter. Tatum, an array of moves. Pritchard tees it up. Well short.
Gordon Walsh, though, not quitting on that play. Even though he's screened, he stays right there with it, gets a hand on it, and then finds his shooter in transition.
2-for-1 opportunity here for Philly. Maxey looking to take advantage, but he comes up short.
Rhythm here, although it's been a little bit of a rock fight this first quarter. A throwback game of sorts.
It's feeling that way. Expect it to feel that way as the series go later and later. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Maxey goes right into the body of Vucevic. Lot of contact, no floor for the first time to start the second quarter. Same with Baylor Shireman for Boston as they hold the three-point cushion. Brown on the outside, looking to circle his way around, and that's a tough two.
Set though out of the timeout. Mazzulla, a little dribble handoff, double screen there. Brown getting into the paint, making a shot over it.
Actually, Kelly Oubre doing all he can right there.
Edge come off the mark, and
right now may not be the move for Embiid as he struggled finding his rhythm.
It's really the second half of Game 5 where he flipped the game. The Celtics led by 13 with about 10 minutes left in the third quarter. From that point on, it was all Philly. Brown, short, and off that,
I've been impressed with the perimeter of Philadelphia, how they are swarming, making Boston really work and take tough shots on the offensive end.
Embiid right at Garza, he's fouled. For Embiid, it'll be the second and third free throw attempts of the night. He has been one of the lone aspects of this team since his return that can consistently get to the line. One more for Embiid. 33 points, 8 assists, averaging nearly 30 over the course of the 2 games. He averages 25 in his playoff career, this being his back to a 2-point game. Pritchard, with just 3 attempts so far, has put 2 in. Prime steps up. Garza on the outside. Now it's Brown on the attack. Oh, he got Oubre in the air.
Shot fake, sold it so well. He got me a few times.
Yeah. Well, you know, Joe Mazzulla just raves about what Sam Cassell brings to this staff. He's spot on the floor, and so he can relate to every player in this locker room.
All I know is my rookie year, he said, I'm Sam Cassell, 2 S's, making it miserable for him as best he can.
And that's exactly what Nick Nurse has mentioned as Shireman steps. At the same time, you got to kind of tie up your shoes again and get right back to it and have a short memory, as he said.
But the responsibility to both Oubre and Paul George of defensively having to check those guys. They are 2 of the big wings for Philly. He is hyped about that. Finally, Embiid gets one to go down.
9 points, 3 boards, 3 assists already for the process as Brown goes up.
Fast, able to attack and get to that rim.
7 now for Jaylen Brown. Edge comes back on the floor, looking to get his offense working. Had that incredible game 2 as Embiid can't hit in the mid.
Philly will take that every time down.
Working on Edwards, looking to back him down. Fend off. Brown, kick out. Pritchard. No.
By Jaylen Brown.
Garza on the pump. Looking to play through Pritchard on this possession. He'll drive. Had it rejected.
He's trying to catch his breath. That's a heck of a play. Embiid never squared the basketball. Edwards couldn't get back up underneath. And instead of it being 2 points, Kelly Oubre just erases that shot.
Celtics bench did implore Joe Mazzulla in any quarter of his playoff career, which has been an illustrious playoff career that's included 126 games, including tonight. Actually coming into tonight. Tonight's 127. Oubre snakes his way through for 2.
Kelly Oubre can get himself going. Had some opportunities in Game 5 at the rim. Now the active hands here defensively.
Edgecombe scoops it up. Grimes the numbers the other way.
Oh, man.
No take.
On point. Hopefully your big can avoid that back screen. The guards can just switch it out, but it's easier said than done because it's happening so quickly in such a short space.
Hate a floater. Doesn't go off. Ball handler's going to say, muy bien, gracias.
He might.
You're welcome, Brad. That was for you.
I appreciate it.
Float.
Drummond, though, just screening it off. That Gortat screen, Maxey doing the rest. Snaking that thing and getting to his right hand.
Deep ball.
In Game 5.
Embiid and Maxey have 19. Brown and Tatum have 18. We are all even at 32. Oubre, bottom.
Cast out by Oubre.
Tatum trying to get it to Brown. Jaylen Brown, 9 points on 4 of 8 shooting, attacking on Maxey. And foul's going to be called.
Legal position, but Jaylen is so smart drawing that contact and getting to the line. In that game, the troubles continue here.
And he finally does. The Celtics so far in this series have shot at 75% at the free throw line, but during the regular season they just did not get to the line a ton because of their play style, mainly on the perimeter. Tough one for George.
Rise and fire.
Tight defense for Maxey. Oubre steps up again on Brown. Screen from White. Brown will try. Brown hit.
Matching Paul George's contested three right there. Tough shot, Jaylen Brown getting it done.
I love just flipping that ball screen late. So hard to handle defense. Some shots starting to finally go down here in the second quarter. The offense is picking it up. Finally.
And a foul's going to be called on Oubre on the outside.
Decisive and fired that three, and then on the other end, Jaylen Brown got his rhythm, able to connect from downtown.
Brown, Kata.
Paul George saves the day by being in the right spot.
Maxey looking to dance on Tatum. Drummond goes to set the screen. Maxey in attack mode. Right at Kata. He couldn't spin it in, but so Maxey to the free throw line, his third, make it his first attempts of the night. Houston at 9:30 Eastern. For more on these games, please go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. But he's found points manufacturing at all 3 levels. Brown against Oubre. Rip through, fend off, offensive foul. And it's number 3 on Jaylen Brown. Offensive foul of the series. He had the second most offensive fouls in the NBA during the regular season behind Towns. As we check in with that.
Guys, Nick Nurse just was talking about Kelly Oubre and how there's not a second that he's not guarding two of the best players.
Silly fouls from Kata. He said, I know he's got 4, and I expect him to have at least 4, but the extra ones are what really throw us off our rhythm. As Maxey follows his miss, fades, can't fill it up, rebounded Drummond, physical on Vucevic.
When he's on the floor, your best offense can be just get it up there on the rim.
Largest lead now for Philly. Another fend off this time. It's Tatum, who's 15 years. He went 18 of 140 from 3, which is 12.9%. This year, 32 of 90, which is about 36%.
The offensive glass where he can really impact the game.
Tatum per first half for Jason Tatum.
It's amazing. He's averaging a double-double since being back. He has been a defensive rebounding machine.
Maxey cross outside George. Attack on Tatum. Finds the space. Thought he was fouled. And the whistle
On the offensive end.
Both teams in the bonus for the final 3:55 of this first half. George Peacock. Grant, you've got a somewhat pinkish shirt today. Is that in the spirit of the
That's
Derby?
red. You don't.
It's salmon. Like a
Yeah.
salmon to really look to take over. Jaylen Brown sitting on the bench with those fouls.
And beat with a hard head there, Grant. We've seen almost exclusively drop coverage from him.
The double cross. Tatum, the patience.
Great.
And then stripped by Derek White. Takes it right back for the Seeds.
Those little hustle plays, though, those defensive efforts, and now you get to look at Tatum. What a possession.
Get in. Good fight for the rebound by George. So Paul George now up to 11 first half points himself, dancing on Derek White. Step away, doesn't get it to go. Now it's Maxey's turn. 14 points on 5 of 12 shooting. Embiid fairly quiet, 9 points on 3 of 9. Bounce it, Maxey. That is pretty. Tatum. 2 for 1 not available. Tatum will work for a good shot instead. Looking to back down on George. Tatum got it back. Outside for Pritchard. Late clock is where he thrives. 2 seconds to shoot. And he forced it in over George. Can't always trust Tyler Free. Come on. He's accurate a lot of the times. But every now and then something slips through as Embiid does. This has already put a nice rift.
Those are from a long dribble dip.
But either way, no call came. George off the screen. Bounce it. Nobody home. It rolls to Edgecombe. Attack on White. The cutter is Oubre. Had to reject it. Oubre gets it back and he floats it off. Open. Brown drive. Cut off by Edgecombe. 8 to shoot. Double comes. Hook it inside. Keita with 5. 3 to shoot. Circling around. Keita trying to find space. And he missed it.
His activity on defense picking up.
Now they'll go Embiid against Keita. Doubled by Tatum. Oubre's the open man. Weak side rebound to Keita.
Oubre taking those. Even though he had a career year shooting in the regular season, he has struggled in this series.
Jalen Brown for
Tatum here in this second half, because the Philadelphia defense is swarming, nothing easy.
Those two have 33 of the 54 for Boston. Oh, the behind the back! A done to Oubre! Brown back the other way. George, the fast break. Oh, the extra! To another level because of the play on both ends from this Philly team out of the halftime locker room. Now leading with their largest margin of 15 as White gets an open look and sticks it from the
pin down, and Derek White has found some offensive confidence here in Game 6.
Embiid back down on Keita. Single coverage. Embiid likes his chances. Wild attempt, no. Oubre the board. And the putback. Tatum with 17 and 10. It's White again. This time he's off. And it's tapped by Embiid to George. No numbers here for Philly. George doesn't care. He'll let it fly. And put it down.
It's a nasty fall there on that left leg.
Remember, he was laboring on that earlier in the first half as well. So we'll keep eyes on Keita, who started 75 games this year for the Celtics. George all the way.
Here by Tatum and White.
Now it's Pritchard's turn. Tatum off the screen. He'll step into it.
I mean, that is the shot they're giving up. That's a good look right there for Jason Tatum coming off that pick and roll.
Right now, the team that's making shots is in the driver's seat. But Maxey 22 from 3. We are 44% overall. Philly is 10 of 23 from the outside. Brown forcing his way in. Keita with a follow. That left half for the majority of the game. Off the boot screen. Hook it. Brown. Pump. Jab. Half the shot clock down as he attacks on Oubre. Brown fades and fills it up.
Brown.
A little bit of the air that was in the building to start the third taken out here. But Maxey
he was wide open. A good look for Boston that just doesn't go from one of their more prolific three-point shooters.
Drummond sets the screen for Maxey. Crab dribble, and he dropped the third. Brown, Vucevic, and White. Rhymes back on the floor for Philly. Drummond staying out there. Pritchard trying to make something happen off the bounce. Vucevic, the open man.
To play in this game.
And it's been those two along with Oubre and George who have really guided this ship. Feels like Philly is in the driver's seat, but a whole lot of time left for a streaky Boston team. That's not going to help.
Nurse let him isolate there on Hauser. He just continues with the hot shooting here in this third.
Back to 17. Well, to track it down. Oubre got there first.
Oubre's everywhere.
Numbers here. Oubre says, I'll do it myself, but he couldn't.
Yes.
Sweet blink layup there.
Hauser.
25 from 3 at 32% in the game.
8 to shoot for Maxey. George on the post up. Riding the hot hand. And he finally
Shoot the ball well. How do they grind wins? And right now that percentage is in that range where when they've been at 30%, they have not won games in this series.
Paul George with their largest lead of 19. PG's got 10 in the quarter. Brown driving kick. White another 3. And Drummond another rebound.
Getting those opportunities just collectively in a slump from 3.
And they're going back to Paul George here. He's got it going.
Maxey, the extension. 8-0 Philly run. 21-point lead. Pritchard bumped by Drummond. 10 to shoot. Pritchard loads it up. Drummond again up high. Listen, over 4 minutes, this Boston offense with a 2.5-second difference, shot clock and game clock. It's Brown on Maxey. Going to work. Triple team comes. Walsh, extra. Vucevic, 4 to shoot. Vucevic.
The multiple efforts there defensively. Guys everywhere.
Maxey with 2 seconds. Maxey got the step. Drummond, did he get it off? He puts it down.
Minutes, but he did come back out. He's on the bench right now. Bad news though, he has it wrapped with ice and his warm-up on, but he is back out on the bench, so we'll keep an eye on it the rest of this game.
Appreciate that, Ashley. Meanwhile, the Drummond 3 did not count. It was too late.
I like off that long defensive rebound. Get out there, play with tempo. Pritchard's got the mismatch, and he just goes all the way to the basket. No help to be found.
Embiid.
I've been so impressed with both Oubre and George staying down and staying right there with Jaylen Brown.
Edwards, pull up, pop.
Three-pointer there by Jaylen Brown. Boston has missed 11 three-pointers in a row.
Yeah, I've gotten word from the Celtics that Tatum is available the rest of the game. It's a 23-point game, so a wide margin, but got to start thinking about a potential Game 7, and maybe Joe Mazzulla trying to get some of his key members a little bit of extra rest. Garza 3 goes down.
He has shot at a high clip, 43% from 3 on the year. Pick and pop if they're in the drop. He's a threat to make you pay for it.
Good ball movement. Grimes response, not there. Embiid up to 15 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Walsh will try. Can't hit the 3. Back tap by Harper. Scooped up by Pritchard. Relocate. It's Harper. Off the mark. Erases that one from Pritchard. Edwards in the open floor, and he loses it out of bounds. Game 4, the final score was 128-96, and the incredible bounce back from Philadelphia in Boston. 113-97 win in Game 5 to force this game. George has been as big a catalyst as anybody with 23 points. Cross on Pritchard, and Pritchard nearly committed a foul. He wanted a foul call on Pritchard. Instead, it's Shireman. Garza on the follow.
Paul George complaining, earned that tee.
Back from that really difficult Game 1 and a 30-plus point loss. And Nick Nurse said to you and Jason Benetti before the game that in the playoffs, it doesn't matter if you lose by 30 or you lose by 1. Hit a refresh button before every game. Feels like they've really adopted that mentality.
They've been able to do that. And certainly, these games haven't necessarily been close. You know,
the energy of White, Harper, and Garza has made a difference. Trying to get Embiid another touch against Garza with 10 to shoot. Double team comes, outside Grimes, 3 ball, in, out.
Lead. How about Garza with the slam and the words? I like that. He has something to say about it.
From 23 down to within 12 on an 11-0 run. Bounce it for Embiid, he will take, and he makes.
Rim was so kind.
Pritchard has been relatively quiet with just 9 points off the bench. Now Garza will try. Way off on the 3. See Maxey just saying, I got you, big dog. Screen from Embiid. Maxey, the extra gear.
And let Maxey just use that burst.
27 points for the 2-time All-Star. Pritchard the bump and finish.
Yeah, that with the rim. Give credit to this group there. They're not quitting. They're still competing, these Celtics.
Oubre will check in next dead ball for Philly. Embiid drive. Embiid dangerous. Mobile Arena. 7-time All-Star. All-NBA first team in 23. 4-time second team. 3-time All-Defensive second team. And a 2-time scoring champ. The list goes. I got to stay consistent.
You are.
So Embiid back to 16. Boston hoping for one final run to keep things interesting here in Game 6. Philadelphia hoping to force a Game 7 back in Boston on Saturday. Jordan!
Sure, those legs were protected.
Embiid going final season in the NBA. 40 years old in his 20th year in the league. And Nick Nurse, of course, built a relationship with him.
Kyle Lowry, an NBA champion. All the experiences he's been through as Tyrese Maxey kind of navigates becoming an NBA superstar, granted. That's invaluable to have on their bench.
Open look for Edgecombe, and he drains it. They are on their feet at Xfinity Mobile Arena. Shireman back the other way for 2.
Rounds 8 and sit flirting with a triple-double.
Walsh at the free 6% of the time. The Sixers are 4 minutes and 10 seconds away from forcing the winner go. 17-point game. Pritchard on the outside. Shireman, pump, drive, kick, extra. Pritchard might have been blocked on the outside by Edgecombe.
In Game 7.
Extra. It's George. Weak side rebound falls to Harper. Up ahead for Shireman. No real number, so Hope pull. Meanwhile, they did give that prior rebound to Oubre, so he's up to 10 boards. He has a double-double of 12 and 10 for the time being. Pritchard went for the steal on Edgecombe. Look out for Edgecombe. Drew
That matchup, from a personal standpoint, him and Kelly Oubre have been locked to take.
Edgecombe, skip it. Oubre will drive. And slam!